Livia was excited about the special dinner with her fiancé, Marcello. They had been together for 2 years, and although he was a very busy businessman, he always found time for special moments like this. The chosen restaurant was sophisticated, with soft lights and a romantic atmosphere. Livia and Marcello chatted animatedly, laughing and enjoying the dinner, when suddenly Marcello looked towards the entrance of the restaurant with a worried expression. He leaned close to Livia and whispered, "Please, can you go to the car and wait there?" Now. Confused and surprised, Livia tried to understand what was happening. Marcello seemed nervous, which was not typical of him. "What happened?" she asked, but he just insisted, "I don't have time to explain now, just go." Reluctantly, Livia grabbed her purse and left quickly, heading to the parking lot. She sat in the passenger seat of Marcello's car, her heart racing and her mind full of questions. She watched from a distance as an elegant, well-dressed woman entered the restaurant. It was then that Livia realized. That was Marcello's wife. The revelation hit her like a ton of bricks. She had never imagined that Marcello, the man with whom she planned to spend the rest of her life, was married. As she tried to process the devastating discovery, something caught her attention in the parking lot. A tall, intriguing-looking stranger was approaching the car. He had an air of mystery, and his eyes met Livia's, filling her with a strange feeling, a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Livia didn't know it, but that unexpected encounter would be just the beginning of a journey full of drama, suspense, and decisions that would change her life forever. Livia felt the world crumble around her as she watched Marcello's wife enter the restaurant. Her hands trembled and her heart raced. She wanted to confront him, demand explanations, but something stopped her from getting out of the car. The mysterious man continued to approach. He stopped by the car, gently tapping on the window. Livia hesitated, but eventually rolled down the window. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice soft and concerned. Livia could barely speak, but managed to murmur, I don't know. I don't think so." The man looked at her with compassion. "My name is Raphael. I saw what happened. You shouldn't be going through this." Livia felt a mix of relief and distrust. "Do you know Marcello?" she asked. Raphael shook his head. "Not personally, but I've seen him and his wife here before. They seem to frequent this place." Livia felt even more betrayed. It wasn't just a passing affair. He had a double life. Tears started to roll down her face. Raphael, noticing her state, offered her a handkerchief. "You don't have to face this alone. I can help you if you want." Livia accepted the handkerchief and thanked him. "I don't know what to do. I feel like my life has collapsed." Raphael nodded, understanding. "I understand. But you're strong, and you'll get through this. Maybe it's best to leave here for now. Give yourself some time to think." Livia considered the proposal. She didn't want to be there when Marcello came out of the restaurant with his wife, laughing and pretending nothing was wrong. She needed space to think, to decide what to do next. "Can you take me somewhere?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Of course," Raphael replied. "Let's get out of here." As they drove away from the restaurant, Livia looked at Raphael and wondered who he really was and why he seemed so interested in helping her. But for now, she was grateful not to be alone. After a few minutes, he stopped the car in a quiet park. "This is a good place to think," he said, turning off the engine. Livia got out of the car and took a deep breath, feeling the fresh air fill her lungs. The man followed her, and they walked in silence to a bench under a large tree. He formally introduced himself. "My name is Raphael." "Livia," she responded, still trying to process everything that had happened. Raphael sat beside her, keeping a respectful distance. "You know, sometimes the hardest things we face are the ones that show us what really matters in life." Livia looked at him, intrigued. "Why are you doing this? Why are you helping me?" Raphael gave a sad smile. "I've been through something similar. I know what it's like to find out someone you love is deceiving you." Livia felt an instant connection with him. "I'm sorry. It must have been hard." He nodded. "It was, but it also taught me the importance of being honest with yourself and others." Silence fell again, but it was not uncomfortable. It was a moment of reflection, of acceptance. Raphael looked at her, his eyes conveying a sincerity she hadn't expected to find. "You will get through this, Livia," he said with conviction, "and when you're ready, you'll find the strength to move on." Livia felt a wave of gratitude. Raphael was a stranger, but somehow he made her feel understood and supported. Maybe, she thought, this encounter was not just a coincidence. As the night progressed, the two continued to talk. Gradually, Livia began to feel lighter, as if a new hope was emerging amidst the chaos. Raphael was not just a mysterious man in the parking lot. He was becoming an unexpected ally in her journey to rediscover her own strength. In the days that followed, Livia and Raphael continued to meet. He became a constant and reassuring presence in her life, someone she could rely on. They shared stories and experiences, and Livia began to feel less alone in her pain. But, along with the growing closeness, came dilemmas. Livia found herself thinking about Marcello and what she should do. Confront him? Reveal the betrayal to his wife? Or simply move on and forget he existed? One night, as they walked through the park, Raphael asked, "Have you decided what you're going to do about Marcello?" Livia sighed, looking at the starry sky. "Not yet. Part of me wants revenge, but another part just wants to forget he exists." Raphael stopped and turned to her. "You need to do what's best for you. Not for him, not for his wife. Think about what will bring you peace." Raphael's words echoed in Livia's mind. She knew he was right, but that didn't make the decision any easier. And there was another dilemma. Her feelings for Raphael. He was everything Marcello was not. Honest, caring, and genuine. But was it fair to start something new while still stuck in the past? Livia looked at Raphael, who was watching her with concern. "And you?" she asked. "What do you want?" Raphael hesitated, his eyes darkening for a moment. "I want to see you happy, Livia. But I also need to be honest. I feel something for you. Something I didn't expect to feel." Livia's heart raced. She felt the same, but the fear of being hurt again prevented her from fully opening up. "I feel something for you too," she admitted, "but I'm scared. Scared of getting involved and being hurt again." Raphael took a step forward, holding her hands. "I understand your fear, and I promise I won't pressure you. We'll go at your pace. I just want to be by your side, as a friend or something more, whatever you decide." The sincerity in Raphael's eyes made Livia feel a glimmer of hope. Maybe it was possible to start over, to build something real and honest. But first, she needed to resolve her past. "Thank you, Raphael," she said, squeezing his hands. "I need a bit more time to sort things out with Marcello. But I want you to know that you are very important to me." Raphael nodded, respecting her decision. "I'm here for whatever you need, Livia, no matter what happens." Livia knew the journey wouldn't be easy, but with Raphael by her side, she felt stronger. It was time to confront Marcello, to resolve her past, and maybe, just maybe, make room for a new beginning. Livia knew she needed to confront Marcello. With Raphael's support, she felt ready to resolve the issues of the past. She arranged to meet Marcello at a discreet cafe, away from prying eyes. When Marcello arrived, he seemed carefree, even smiling, as if nothing was wrong. Livia felt a knot in her stomach, but took a deep breath and remained calm. "We need to talk," she began, her voice firm. Marcello raised an eyebrow. "About what?" Livia looked directly into his eyes. "About your wife. About the fact that you have a double life." Marcello's smile vanished instantly. He tried to argue, but Livia cut him off. "It's no use lying. I saw you two together at the restaurant. You've deceived me all this time." Marcello sighed, running a hand through his hair. Livia, I can explain. There is no explanation that justifies what you did, she interrupted. I just want to know one thing. Why did you do this to me? Marcello hesitated, guilt evident on his face. I never wanted to hurt you. I really care about you, but my life is complicated. Complicated? Livia laughed bitterly. You think that justifies deceiving two people? No, Marcello, that's cruel. He remained silent, unable to defend himself. Livia realized she didn't need to hear anything more. She stood up, ready to leave that painful chapter behind. Before leaving, she looked at him one last time. I hope one day you realize how much your actions hurt others. I'm moving on, and I suggest you do the same. Livia left the cafe with a sense of relief. She knew she had done the right thing. When she found Raphael outside, he hugged her tightly. You were amazing, he said, pride evident in his voice. But the day was not over. When they arrived at Livia's apartment, they found a letter under the door. She recognized Marcello's handwriting. With trembling hands, she opened the letter and began to read. The letter contained a detailed confession from Marcello, explaining his confused feelings and his apologies for all the pain he caused. He also revealed that his wife knew about Livia all along and that, despite the betrayal, they were trying to work things out. Livia felt a mix of emotions, anger, sadness, but also a sense of closure. It was the final confirmation that she was doing the right thing by moving on. Noticing Livia's emotional turmoil, Raphael suggested they go for a walk to clear her mind. As they strolled through the park, he looked at her and said, You are stronger than you think, and I'm here to support you no matter what. Livia smiled, feeling grateful to have him by her side. They stopped by the lake, and she looked at Raphael, realizing how much he meant to her. Raphael, I think I'm ready to move on, she said, a new light in her eyes. With you. Raphael smiled, holding her hand. Then let's start a new chapter, together. As the sun set on the horizon, Livia felt a new hope blooming. She had faced her demons, and with Raphael by her side, she was ready to embrace the future. With the decision made, Livia and Raphael began to build a new chapter in their lives. They started meeting more frequently, enjoying each other's company and discovering new shared interests. Gradually, the wound left by Marcello began to heal, and Livia felt increasingly secure and happy with Raphael. One night, while having dinner at Raphael's house, he surprised her with a question. Livia, would you like to travel with me next weekend? I have a special place I want to show you. Livia smiled, feeling a growing excitement. Of course, I would love to. Where are we going? Raphael smiled mysteriously. It's a surprise, but I promise you'll like it. The weekend arrived, and they set off together towards the mysterious destination. After a few hours of travel, Raphael stopped the car at a small country house surrounded by trees and flowers. The place was peaceful and welcoming, perfect for escaping the hustle and bustle of the city. This place is beautiful, said Livia, enchanted. It belonged to my grandmother, Raphael explained. She always said this is where magic happens, where life can be simple and beautiful. During the days they spent there, Livia and Raphael grew even closer. They walked through the fields, cooked together, and spent hours talking by the fireplace. In one of those moments, while watching the sunset, Raphael took Livia's hand and looked deeply into her eyes. Livia, I know our start was a bit tumultuous, but I want you to know that I'm here for you today and always. I want to build something real and lasting with you. Livia felt a wave of emotion. She knew Raphael was sincere and that his feelings were true. I want that too, Raphael. You brought light into my life when everything seemed dark. I love you. They hugged, feeling that this moment was the beginning of something very special. Back in the city, Livia and Raphael began planning a future together. They decided to move to the country house on weekends, enjoying the peaceful retreat to strengthen their relationship even more. Livia also found the courage to pursue her own dreams. With Raphael's encouragement, she returned to school and began working on a project she'd always wanted, opening a small bookstore cafe where people could find comfort in books and good conversations. The opening of the bookstore cafe was a success, with friends and new customers praising the welcoming environment and the carefully selected books. Raphael was by Livia's side, proud of her achievement and happy to see her so fulfilled. Over time, Livia and Raphael's life became an example of love, mutual support, and growth. They faced challenges together, but always with the certainty that they had each other. And so, Livia found not only true love, but also the strength within herself to overcome any obstacle and live fully. The painful past became a distant memory, replaced by a future full of hope and possibilities. And as Livia looked at Raphael, she knew she was finally exactly where she was meant to be, at the beginning of a new and beautiful chapter in her life. Want to follow more exciting and inspiring stories? Subscribe to our channel, leave your like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Join us and get inspired by these incredible stories of love and suspense. See you in the next video.